Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So, bit of a special video today, as I've said before. Let's see if any of you can guess what it is just from what you're seeing so far. We got some boots, some poles, jacket, other general clothes, some trash bags, some freeze-dried food, tent, pillows, sleeping bag, first aid kit, all the essentials. So I'm going to pack all this up and get back to you in just a couple of minutes. Alright, as you can see, everything is now packed up. The only things left to get packed up are you guys. So let me break down the tripod real quick and get you tucked in. I'll see you guys when we get closer. Good night now. Good morning everyone. It is currently like 7:40 a.m. Starting a few hours later than I wanted, but that's okay. It's currently 36 degrees outside. Ignore what that clock says, it's wrong. And I'm about to get on the way to the mountains, so I will see you when I get closer. So about an hour from now. See you then.
Time, this place, misused, mistakes, too long, too late. Who was I to make you wait? Just one chance, just one breath, just in case there's just one left. 'Cause you know.
Hello everyone. So, little update. It's around 9 a.m. I don't know the exact time right this second. I parked my car and I'm on my way to the Humpback Rock overlook. I'll just go there for a bit, take some pictures, do a little bit of a video, and then gonna go back to my car, grab the rest of my gear, and start hiking to the shelter. But for now, it's just normal little hike, just no gear, just my hiking poles, the GoPro, and my phone. It looks like there's someone up ahead there. Didn't expect to see any other people. Looks like a kid by themselves. It's hard to tell from this distance.
Stop breathing if I don't see you anymore.
Alright, I'll catch back up with you once I get closer. I love how incredibly peaceful it is out here. Like, I know I saw that one person up there, but you can feel like you're alone with your thoughts and nature, and that's it. Just you, the mountain, and the trees. There's a special feeling to it when you're alone. Like, it's nice to go in a group because then you have people to talk to, and the load is distributed amongst you. But being alone with nature out here is I don't want to just say it's beautiful, because that doesn't quite capture it. It doesn't quite capture the majesty of seeing the mountains and the animals with no one to bother them except you. So if you're quiet enough, they might not even notice you for a while, and you can just stand there looking at them. There are stairs here, which I didn't expect, but it makes sense. If it's too steep, they need something to make it easier. I'm not sure how high I'm going to get to Humpback Rocks, but I'm already decently high up. I'll have to check the information board when I get back to my car.
On my knees, I'll ask, last chance for one last dance. 'Cause with you, I'd withstand.
Some natural looking steps there, it looks like.
Hello, Joran, I'd give it all. I'd give
Going up's the hard part. Going down is much easier.
anything, but I won't give up. 'Cause you know, you know, you know, I love you. I've loved you all along, and I miss you. Been far away for far too long. I keep dreaming you'll be with me, and you never go. Stop breathing.
More natural steps. Very nice.
I don't see you anymore. So far away, so far away for far too long. So far away, far away for far too long. But you know, you know, you know, I want it.
No, I didn't bring my inhaler because I didn't think I would need it, but I'm starting to reconsider.
Want you to stay, 'cause I need it.
Because, man, cold air mixed with asthma while you're hiking does not go well. It's been many years since I have done anything like this, so I'm a little bit out of practice, but it's nice to get back into it.
I need to hear you say that I love you. And I've loved you all along, and I forgive you.
Alright, I'll catch you guys when I'm closer. I'd just like to point out, it is currently below freezing. It's under 32 degrees. You can see the frost crystals growing under the dirt because of how cold it is up here. Which is always very fascinating to see crystals, like ice crystals, coming up from under the earth. I think I shouldn't be too far now. This was only supposed to be a 0.8 mile hike to the overlook. Oh, this is a good patch of ice. But it's only supposed to be a 0.8 mile hike up to the Humpback Rocks overlook, so I should be there before too long. And then I'll head back down to my car, grab my stuff, and start making my way to the shelter, which fortunately is downhill most of the way, so should be a lot easier. And I just have to worry about hiking uphill the next day. Yay. Oh, nice, to the point where you can start seeing breath. And there's a lot of loose rocks I'm stepping on. That's the clinking sound behind me. Looks like I'm almost there. It's very rocky path up here. It's at least warmer than the last time I made this hike, because if I recall correctly, the last time I did the hike I'm doing today was snowy. Like, there was a good few inches of snow on the ground, so it was pretty cold. On the bright side, plenty of snow to boil for water instead of having to get it from the creek, which is always a positive. Oh, I think we're there. This looks like the sign. Let's see. Oh, it's very much covered in graffiti, but here we go. Humpback Rocks to the left, 800 more feet. Then there's a picnic area, 2.7 miles that way. Jeez. I'd have to go another 3 miles to get to a picnic area. I mean, you can really just picnic anywhere. Just step off the trail and set up your stuff and you're good. I cannot imagine hiking 3 miles to go have a picnic. That would be insane for me. I guess it's for those people who are heading that way anyway, but still. But less than 800 feet to go to Humpback Rock Overlook. Needs a little more signage because it looks like there's a lot of paths here, but probably all circles around the same way. This looks like it's pretty well tread. Let's look down this way and see what we can find. It's just a big pile of rocks here for some reason. No clue why, just nice little... Oh, there are squirrels over there. I thought I heard something. I thought someone was behind me. Alright. Pile of rocks. And then we're almost to the top. And it's just back down. Oh yeah. This would be a good overlook. What side to go up? Let's go up this side first. Oh, a lot of people carved stuff in this apparently. Oh yeah, this is a good overlook. This is terrifying. I don't know how far I can go. Look at that view. This is stunning. Let's head up this rock, see if I can get a little bit higher. This rock is loose. Jeez. This is beautiful. This is what hiking is all about, is views like this. Alright, I'm gonna get some pictures and I'll check back in with you at my car. See you then. See, this is what I meant about being able to get much closer to animals. Partially because they're acclimated to be around people because of all the hikers. Oh, there's a blue jay, I believe that's a blue jay. It's pretty. But it's partially because they're acclimated to people from the hikers, and then if I move slowly and quietly, they won't run away as much. There's also been a lot of very beautiful birds. I know I checked in a little bit earlier. Cars right there, like it's, I'm nearly to the parking lot, but checked in a little bit early because I saw this big group of squirrels, and I wanted to get y'all a little bit of a video of the squirrels. There's a couple more birds down there. There have been a lot of very beautiful birds that I've seen already. If I'm quiet, you can hear all the birds chirping. There's another squirrel there. Nature is incredibly beautiful. I wish I could have been here in the spring to see more flowers and see the trees in bloom, but at the same time, it's nice for the trees to be missing their leaves, because then you can see more of the animals and you can get a better view instead of it all being blocked by the trees. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of look through those trees there to the mountain range beyond. Oh, there's a squirrel running down there near my car. There's two of them. Alright, we're coming up on some signage here that will tell us some more information. So let's get up to this sign here, and I can look at some of the information about the hike, and then I'll grab my stuff and get on the way to shelter for the night. Oh, there's a squirrel. Alright, let's see. So, this is where we are now. I just hiked this orange line here to the Humpback Rocks and then came back down. So now I'm here, I'm gonna grab my stuff, cut onto the trail, and then hike down to Wolfe Shelter, which is about 2.5 miles. Oh, there's been bear activity recently, apparently. So yeah, this is a bunch of just information about the area. I also ended up passing a few groups of people on my way down from the rocks, so I guess we'll see how many people are staying at the same shelter I am tonight. Oh, they've banned fires, apparently, because there's high fire danger conditions. Oh no, okay, well, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that, and light a fire anyway, and if they find it, oh well, I'll say I didn't know, because I need a fire. It's not camping without a fire, so I'm gonna have a fire. Alright, I'm going to sit down for a minute, drink some water, grab my stuff, and then it's on to the shelter, 2.5 miles. See you guys in a bit. Alright, I got my bag, got all my stuff, and it's off to the shelter. So, for now, it's just hiking along this trail. Then turning left once it meets the AT. I just left the parking area, like I've barely gone anywhere. I think this will be a good trip. It's been a long time since I've done anything like this, but I really do love the outdoors and hiking, so I'll probably end up doing more of these too. Who knows? Maybe at some point I'll have the entire AT recorded on my YouTube channel, but you know, we'll see where we get. I also got this little thing to drink water, which is very nice. That way I don't have to pull my water bottle out of my bag every time. I can just use that while I'm hiking. It does have a very, what's the taste? Rubbery? It has a kind of rubbery taste, which is unfortunate, but you know, convenience for taste, that's fine by me. I've also got my Kindle with me, so I have something to read by the campfire and do at night when there's not much else to do. Let's see. The time is currently... Does the GoPro say what time it is? No, of course not. I have to check my phone, which is buried in my pocket. Come on. Come on. Damn it. There we go. Time is currently 10:21. So it's about 2.5 miles to the shelter. So given it's 10:21 now, should be about 1 p.m. by the time I get to the shelter. Because if I recall correctly, the estimate is that when you're hiking, you go about 1 mile per hour. So should get to the shelter about 10:21, or sorry, about 1 p.m. Once I get there, I'll get my tent set up, and then I'll have my lunch. Which my lunch today, I'll make it a bit of a thing in the video. I have 4 freeze-dried meals with me from Mountain House. No. Yes? I don't remember. It might be Mountain House, but it could be another brand. Point is, I have 4 freeze-dried meals with me. And so it's 2 lunches, 1 dinner, and 1 breakfast. So I'll have lunch and dinner today, and then breakfast and lunch tomorrow. And I'll kind of review them on how I like them, but we'll see how they are. I haven't had freeze-dried meals in, gosh, almost a decade now, I guess. Dang, it's weird that I can say a decade. That's ridiculous. I just made myself feel incredibly old by saying it's been a decade since I've done something. Yeah, so it's just been an incredibly long time since I've gone hiking or camping, but I love them. And this might be a bit of a hot take. I don't know how other people feel out there, but to me, it's not camping unless you're backpacking. Like, driving somewhere in your car and then setting up a tent next to the parking lot is technically camping, but that doesn't feel like real camping to me. Like, it doesn't feel like you're actually camping unless you have to carry everything a good distance away and you're actually carrying it, instead of, technically camping is just going out of the house and setting up a tent, and that's camping. Ooh, squirrel. Sorry, can you tell I'm probably ADHD? But anyway, that was literally squirrel. One of the, oh my gosh, one of the stereotypical ADHD things. Anyway, but yeah, so what was I saying? Right, camping. To me, it's not camping unless you're backpacking, because if you can just bring everything you want and you don't have to deal with carrying it or anything, it's just not camping to me. It just doesn't feel the same. Also, this is the Appalachian Trail. Reed's Gap to Rockfish Gap. Maintained by the Old Dominion Appalachian Trail Club. Nice. So if I go down that way, then that brings me to the Jack Bright Loop and the Humpback Rocks Loop, which I was just up at the Humpback Rocks. If I go this way, straight down this way, should bring me to my shelter. So, gonna head down, and then also on the way to the shelter, there's a cut through kind of path, and there will be a sign for it. And it says like 0.2 miles to a lookout, so we'll head to that lookout too. But for now, it's just a nice peaceful walk through the woods. Also, a note. I don't know how likely I am to pass more people on video, but when you're hiking and you're on a trail and someone's coming towards you, just like the road, you get over to the right side, and it's just like you're driving. You get off to the right side to pass each other. Also, that is a trail marker. So there's one trail marker here. Every trail marker needs to be within eyesight of the last trail marker. So one's here, and then if you look down there, there's another trail marker down there. And then once I get there, there will be another one, so on and so forth. There are different colored trail markers for different trails, obviously. The Appalachian Trail uses white trail markers. So that's kind of how you judge, am I still on the right trail, is if you're following the Appalachian Trail, you want to be following the white trail markers. So you continue on down your path, and if you end up coming across a different colored trail marker, then that means most likely you got off the trail you were on, and you need to backtrack to find where you went wrong. But this here is the next trail marker, and if I come up to this one, let's see, next trail marker might be on that one on the tree there. Not sure if I can exactly see the next trail marker, but that could be a trail marker on the bark there that's just very old. But supposedly you're supposed to be able to see the next trail marker from the one you're at. So it's just a way to make sure people don't get lost or take the wrong path. So for now I'm just hiking through the woods. It's also kind of cold. I'm not even using my hiking poles because it's just so cold. I want to keep my hands in my pockets so they're not going numb or anything. But the one holding the camera I can only do so much about. They do get uncomfortable, but I can just stick it in my pocket and it'll warm back up. There's the next trail marker. And also for the British people and the Romanians who will be watching this, yes, driving on the right side of the road is the correct way to drive. I don't care how they do it where you live. Here in America, driving on the right side of the road is the correct way. So, maybe on trails in Europe and all, where they drive on the left side of the road, maybe you do it the other way and you go to the left side of the trail to pass each other. But at least in America, where we drive on the right side of the road, you go to the right side of the trail. I also there's also like one person has right of way over the other, and I can't remember if it's the person going uphill has the right of way, or the person going downhill. But one of the two has right of way over the other, so if someone's going uphill and someone's going downhill, and the trail is narrow like this, to the point where you can't both walk on it at the same time, one of them is supposed to step off to the side while the other one passes. That's a fallen tree right there. Pretty sure this tree was fallen last time I was here too. Pretty sure that's a tree that's been fallen for over a decade at this point. There's the next trail marker. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a simple hike. It's 2.5 miles, so I did 0.8 miles up to Humpback Gap, or sorry, Humpback Rocks. It's Rockfish Gap. I did 0.8 up to Humpback Rocks, 0.8 back down, so 1.6, and then I'm doing another 2.5 to the shelter, so that's 4.5 miles that I'll be walking, or sorry, not 4.5, 4.1, there it is, 4.1 miles that I'll be walking today. Then when I come back out tomorrow, I'm just hiking from the shelter to, well, those are some pretty leaves. But I'm just hiking from the shelter to my car, and then I'm going home. Sorry, my lips are dry. But yeah, so, like I said, relatively simple hike. Nothing too terrible. I mean, 2.5 is honestly, it's a pretty easy hike. Like, it is, my father went on this exact same hike with his father and both of his brothers just a few weeks ago. So I mean, I'm literally doing something that my father did with his father and his brothers very recently. It's a very easy hike, which is why I wanted to start with it, because it's been so long. I wanted to start with something easy to get back into it. Look at that view. It's very obscured by tree branches for you. I know, I don't know how the GoPro will focus on things. I've never really used one before, honestly. My father let me borrow his for the trip so I could record it for y'all.
I'm through with standing in line, the clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. Yeah, so what you need?
I can definitely tell you, I am going to be fucking sore when I go home. Because this may be an easy hike, but when it's been so long since I've done something like this, it'll definitely be something when I get home. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm out here to have fun and enjoy myself, and that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that rock was loose. I thought I had dropped something. Yeah, I'm out here to enjoy myself and, you know, try to get away a bit. Also, if any of you have seen it yet, there's a show called The Summit. It's it's another one of those reality TV shows. It's like Survivor. The point of The Summit is that you and the group, is the group of people needs to get to the summit of this mountain, and the people who get to the top each get a share of $1 million of, it's either $1 million or 100,000, something like that. I don't remember exactly. I haven't really watched it much, because honestly, I don't enjoy it. The people overreact to every little thing. Like, they're just incredibly dumb. Like, they're not voting based on who can actually make it to the top, which that's the entire point, is to make it to the top. They're not voting based on who can make it to the top. They're voting based on who they like and who they form friendships with. And it's like, if I was on a show where the entire point was to get to the top of a mountain, I would be choosing people who can get to the top of the mountain so I can get my money. Because if someone doesn't make it to the checkpoint, that money's gone. So say someone has $20,000 or something like that in their bag, and then they don't make it to the checkpoint, then your group loses that $20,000. So you really want people who can actually do the climb and make it to the top. Yeah, no, it's... The people on the show are incredibly ridiculous. Like, there was one point they were rappelling down a mountain, and they were absolutely freaking out. Like, it wasn't even that high of a rock face. And they were just screaming the whole time when there's literally someone at the top slowly lowering them down. And I've just seen a lot of things where I'm trying to figure out if they're actually reacting like that, and if so, that's ridiculous, or if they're overacting for the sake of the show, because, as we all know, reality shows all require so much drama and everything. So I don't know if they're actually reacting like that and are just ridiculous people, or if they're overreacting for the sake of the show, in which case it's also ridiculous. But supposedly, according to my father, on the show all the people on the show are like, they're not outdoorsy people. They're not people who do that kind of thing, which, okay, I can understand a little trepidation when it's that point, but I mean, you're on a reality TV show. There's nothing real about it. There's no real danger. They're not actually going to let you get hurt. If something happens, they have a team of medics, and worst case scenario, they will airlift you to a hospital. But like, you're never in any real danger. There are so many safety things that they have to do because they know that if someone gets hurt on the show, they'll either get sued for a lot of money, or they then can't use the content because someone got hurt real bad. So it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. I don't enjoy the show just because I enjoy it to laugh at the people, but it's just otherwise not a very enjoyable show for me because it's stupid. It is. I'm being honest. It's just a stupid show with stupid people. Survivor is a different thing. Like, the people on the summit play like they're on Survivor. Survivor, it's all about your social game. Like, it's important that people can actually do challenges, but social game is the most important thing on Survivor. The summit, they're acting like they're on Survivor. They're all trying to play the social game, but it's just not, that's not how it's gonna work. Because in Survivor, if you can't do a challenge, you don't lose money. You just either don't get safety or you get put up for elimination or whatever. Like, you don't lose money for failing a challenge on Survivor. If you fail a challenge in Summit, you then lose however much money. So in Summit, it's not about social game. It's about actually being able to do the challenge instead of Survivor, which I really enjoy Survivor. I do actually really enjoy Survivor and the social game and all the challenges of it. And I just wish the people on Summit were smarter and weren't trying to act like they were on Survivor instead of the Summit. Yeah, for now I'm actually going uphill, which is surprising. It's supposed to be mostly downhill, but oh well. There's one part where I'll be going downhill a lot. It has a lot of cutbacks to go up and down, so I'll make sure to show you all that part when I get there. But for now, it's just hiking. So what I'm gonna do, I will catch up with you guys when I get closer to the cutback area, so I can kind of show a bit about what that's like. And I guess we'll see from there. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, catching up a little bit. Just came around that tree. This here is the overlook I was telling you about. So I'm gonna go down this path here, 0.2 miles, go to the overlook, come on back, then gonna continue along the trail here to my shelter. So for now, going to the overlook. I'll start the next part of the video at the overlook, because most likely just gonna be a regular old walking trail. It's downhill, which is unfortunate because then that means I'm coming back uphill, but oh well. All right, I'll see you guys at the overlook. All right, guys, here we are. Glass Hollow Overlook. This is a fucking amazing view. You can just make out some kind of town in the distance there. But I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. You can see so many mountains. Wow. I mean, this is just, I know I said it earlier at Humpback Rocks, but this is what hiking is all about, is things like this. It's just, oh, there's another town over there. It's kind of difficult to see. Yeah, I mean, this is just like, things like this are what hiking is all about, is seeing the majesty of just how beautiful nature can be. And I mean, like, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Like, there's nothing I can say that fully encapsulates this feeling. It's just, wow. It's so, it's beautiful. That's the only word for it, is beautiful. There's also a very pretty tree there. The red leaves look very nice. But yeah, no, this is beautiful. There's also so many leaves still on those trees down there. But I mean, the like greens and golds of all those trees, the sun up in the sky. I'm gonna sit here for a minute and just take some pictures and enjoy the view. Then it's back onto the trail towards the shelter. Yeah. This is really nice. All right, I'll see you guys there. I just saw an absolutely beautiful deer, but unfortunately I didn't notice it in time, and it ran off into the woods, and by the time I got my camera out, it was already gone. But you can still hear it moving. That branch rustling is because of it. But it was such a beautiful deer. I was so mad I didn't have my stuff out in time. It ran off the trail a bit and then it started just walking, and I just wasn't able to get my my GoPro or my phone out in time to get a picture of it or try to get it on video. But I didn't notice it until it was already too late. But it was so beautiful. It was, I think they're called white-tailed deer. It had a white tail, but I think the name of that is the white-tailed deer. Could be wrong. Did you hear that? It sounded like running water. I think it's a bird. Huh. Yeah, no, I'm so upset. It was such a beautiful deer. I believe I'm almost to the area where it starts cutting back. So I'll keep recording for a minute. But yeah, I've been walking in squirrel. I'm a lot noisier now that I have my bag, because it adds weight to me and it squeaks a bit from the stuff inside. So I'm much louder and more noticeable now. But there's the squirrel right there where that tree forks. Oh, it's gone. Didn't even see it leave. Dang, squirrels are fast. But yeah, so I'm coming to an intersection area here. I'll show you all the sign. I'm almost to it. Just a few more steps. So that's the sign there. You can either continue left to the Albright Loop Trail, which will then take you back to the parking area I came from, or if you go right, you continue along the Appalachian Trail, which is what I'm doing because, oh, there's another squirrel. Yeah, so I'm gonna go right here because my shelter's on the Appalachian Trail. I don't want to go back to my car because then that means I need to start the hike all over again, and that's miserable because I'm already over halfway there. I passed a sign probably like 0.2 miles ago, something like that, that said that I was 1.3 miles from the parking area, so I'm already over halfway there. Also, when I was talking earlier and I said 4.5 miles is how much I was going to be hiking today, apparently I was right, because when I was calculating, I didn't account from the 0.2 miles to that outlook and then back. So it is actually 1.6 miles from the hike up and back from the Humpback Rock overlook, plus another 2.5 from this, makes 4.1, and then another 0.4 from going to and back from that Glass Hollow overlook, I think it was called. So yeah, it is actually going to be 4.5 miles walking today. Once I get to camp and get things set up, I might explore the woods a little bit more. Just, you know. Oh, sorry, I keep hiccuping. But I want to get to camp so I can. God. I want to get to camp so I can Jesus. So I can get to camp with my so I can get my tent set up and have some lunch before it starts getting dark. Because it's nearly winter, like it's getting dark early now. So, especially up in the mountains, it gets darker sooner. So, I need to pay attention to that also. Sorry, I heard animals. Also, this here is where the path starts cutting back, so I just came around this way, and then it now cuts back this way. Trails do this when there is a steep mountain because it allows the people walking the trail to go up and down that mountain easier. Instead of just going straight up and down the mountain, which is very steep, it cuts back and forth, which makes it easier to walk along. It's very similar to, oh God, I don't know if you'd even remember this. This was like elementary school science kind of stuff, but back in elementary school, it was one of those things about work and like calculating work through joules and how things like leverage and things like that affect how easy it is to move something. So for example, if you were to put a box on top of a plank, put the middle of that plank over a ball or something. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to think of an example. But you were to put that plank over a ball, and then you push down on the other side of the plank to lift the box. You need to move it further, but it takes less work, I believe is how the equation goes. So for example, using a pulley, you need to pull longer length of rope, but it makes it easier to pull, for example. It's something like that. I don't remember exactly, this was a very long time ago, but that's the same principle this goes on. You have to walk more because of it. You have to walk a longer distance, but it is an easier walk because it's not as steep, it's not as difficult. So that's just kind of the whole reason that cutbacks and things like that exist on very steep roads, like roads going up mountains and on trails, is because it makes it so that it's an easier path to go on. You just have to go further. So yeah, that's the whole point behind this, is to make it so that instead of having to go straight up and down the mountain where it's a lot steeper, it's just a very small incline down the mountain, and you just have to cut back and forth multiple times. That's all there is to it, really. Yeah, I've been using the hiking poles. I kind of decided I didn't care if my hands got cold, because I just wanted to use the hiking poles. They make the hike a little bit easier. It's that way, instead of having 2 points of contact, which are just your 2 feet, you have 4 points of contact with the ground, which, for example, when you're going down a hill, or going up a hill is a better example, and you have your bag on, if your bag's heavy enough, just in general, your bag will throw off your balance. It'll cause you to lean back more. So you would lean forward to counterbalance that. And without hiking poles, you have to be a lot more careful with the balance, making sure that when you lean forward, you don't lean too far forward. The hiking poles make it so that you can lean much farther forward, because you can put them out in front of you to help you walk forward. And they'll make it so that, unless you do something crazy, like you're parallel to the ground, they make it so that you won't fall over from leaning forward. It just provides extra points of contact, which are extra safety against falling, and also makes it easier to lean forwards or backwards to counter your bag. So yeah, they're not necessary, but they're handy. Yes, this is just another piece of the cutback. It goes down quite a ways, if I recall correctly, because the shelter is next to a stream. And so what that means is the shelter is in a valley, because that's where the streams come from. Is streams will gather in valleys, because as they go down the mountain, they're going to choose the path of least resistance, which, if they're on top of a mountain and there's a path that's flat or even slightly downhill versus a very downhill path, they will take the very downhill path, which is what causes valleys to have streams in them. And that's why there are rivers and streams, etc., where they are, is because it's like a natural valley in the land, which provides the path of least resistance for the water to go down. As the water is like the ice and snow and all at the top of a mountain melts, or as rain hits the mountain and it goes down the mountain, it will gather in the natural valleys, forming streams and creeks and rivers, etc. Oh, that's some nice moss on these rocks. But it'll form streams and creeks and rivers, and those eventually all flow into some other body of water, like a lake or like a larger stream, creek, or river, and eventually to the ocean, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what causes that's why there's water where there is, and it's also a way to indicate where things will be. If you find, say you're lost in the woods, for example, if you follow a body of water, it will typically lead to some kind of civilization, because, you know, people settle on water because they need water. So if you follow, say you get lost in the mountains, best case scenario is to try to reach out to some kind of support, either through your phone or through a device like the Spot Messenger I have, which I will demonstrate and explain a little bit once I get to camp. Your best case is to try to get help through contacting someone if you can. If you can't, there's a few different ways depending on the area you're in. For example, if you're on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia and you're in for most of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia, if you just go west, you will end up coming across the highway, interstate, something like that. I think it's the Blue Ridge Parkway, at least in the area I'm in right now. But if you are on the Appalachian Trail and get lost, grab your compass, and start heading west, and you will eventually hit the Blue Ridge Parkway, where you can of course get help from a passing vehicle, something like that. Otherwise it becomes more of a case of if you can, like if you don't have a compass, for example, and you don't know any other ways to get direction, anything like that, a very good bet is to find a body of water and then start following it. Don't walk against the river, because then you're just going to go to wherever the water's coming from. You want to walk with the flow of the water, which should eventually lead you to some kind of civilization. As you, like I said, people like to build on water because people need water, whether it's for animals, plants, living, etc. People need water, so they tend to build on water, which is why a lot of civilization, like especially in, let's say, Africa, for example, like in the Sahara Desert, you find people at oases. You will find people at an oasis because there is water there. You will find people, that's why Egypt is for the most part along the Nile, is because there was water, and also because as the Nile would flood and then recede back into its banks, it would leave silt behind, which was very good for farming. But you find people at water. If there is not water somewhere, you are much less likely to find people, because it becomes a challenge of how do you get water there. So it's just, long story short, I know I've said it multiple times, I'm gonna recap. If you are lost and you have no way to contact help, you have no compass or any kind of navigational device, start going down the mountain for one. Go down the mountain, you will eventually find some kind of water source, because the water flows down the mountain. So you will go down the mountain, eventually you'll find some kind of stream, creek, something. Then you can follow that wherever it runs. That will continue taking you down the mountain, and then eventually you should come across some kind of civilization. Heck, worst case scenario, you find another shelter. Like if it's, say for example, I got lost and I start following the stream that runs by Wolfe Shelter, the shelter I'm going to, I could possibly eventually come to Wolfe Shelter if I was upstream of it. If I'm downstream of it, then I might eventually come across another shelter. And it's just follow water, you will find some kind of civilization or semblance of humanity, and you can continue from there. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep doing these cutbacks. Shouldn't be too much further to camp, but I'll see you guys when I get there. So for now, take care. For you guys it'll be the next scene. For me it might be less than an hour, maybe like 30 minutes or so. All right, see ya. Okay, so right there, you can kind of make it out through the trees. The thing with the blue roof, that's the shelter I'm going to. Down there is the stream that runs past it. Listen to how loud it is. Like I legitimately thought I was hearing cars or chainsaws or something that were like off in the distance, and I was like, huh, I guess they're cutting down trees, or maybe I'm closer to a road than I thought. But no, I was hearing the stream this whole time. It is so loud, but not like in a bad way. Like it's just, I'm just surprised by how loud it is and how much force it has. But going down the last of the cutbacks, I crossed the stream here, then I'm at the shelter. So I've made it to the destination. This is okay. This is a small little stream here. It ends up feeding into it further down, it looks like, but I just walk across these rocks, careful not to slip. And I continue on over to these rocks. These rocks will be a lot more of a challenge. What does the water start there? Okay. So, but I mean, look at this. This is so So beautiful. Oh, there's another small stream that feeds into it. Yeah, I mean, look at all the little waterfalls. This is beautiful. Okay, let me get across these rocks, hopefully without falling. Because if you fall into water while hiking, that is pretty much a death sentence. Especially when it's like cold out or winter like it is now. Because if you get wet, it is very hard to dry off, and even if you do dry off, and if you're wet, you get cold easier. There we go. All right, perfect. And then this is the shelter here. Where is the pole for bear bags? So, for those who don't know, a bear bag is a bag that you put all your food and everything that has a smell. You put it all in a bear bag. Then you either hang it up on a tree, or at most shelters there's a pole you can put it on. And the point of that is to separate the smell from you, so that if an animal does smell it, the animal doesn't come for you. And it protects the food because it's more difficult for the animals to get to it. Some bears can climb trees, I know. So it's not completely safe, but for the most part it's safe. This here is a pole for a bear bag. And that stick beside it is what you can use to put your bear bag up on the pole. Yeah, so that's the pole. There's the shelter. This here looks like one of the campfires. Yeah, this is one of the fire pits. That up there might be the latrine. I'm not sure. I think that might be the bathroom. Yeah, this is the fire pit. I think I'll probably camp in this area right here. So, how much battery do I have left? Okay, I have enough. Let me set my stuff down and start with the unpacking. I know you're at a little bit of an angle, but I'm sorry. There's only so much I can do. I have you sitting on a rock right now.
It's got no limit and a big black jet with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars. Mine star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I have the quesadilla. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy mansion. Gonna date a Santa phone that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, Gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna pop my pills from a best dispenser. Get washed up singers riding on.
Okay, I finally got it. It was, this rope here is incredibly loose, so it just wouldn't stay in tension. I eventually figured out a way to at least have it be in tension, so it hopefully won't collapse on me while I sleep, but I guess we'll see.
Sing 'em every night so I don't get 'em wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny 'cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. Time is going by so much faster than I'm starting to regret not spending all of it with you. Now I'm wondering why I've kept this bottle inside. So I'm starting to regret not selling all of it to you. So if I haven't yet, I've gotta let you know you're never gonna be alone from this moment on. If you ever feel like letting go, I won't let you fall. You're never gonna be alone. I'll hold you till the hurt is gone. And now, as long as I can, I'm holding on with both hands. 'Cause forever I believe that there's nothing I could need but you. So if I haven't yet, I've gotta let you know you're never gonna be alone from this moment on. If you ever feel like letting go, I won't let you fall. When all hope is gone, I know that you can carry on. We're gonna take the world on. I'll hold you till the hurt is gone. You gotta live every single day like it's the only one. What if tomorrow never comes? Don't let it slip away. Could be our only one. You know it's only just because.
So, this is, there we go. This is what the tent looks like. My uncle refers to this tent as the spring roll because it's a very thin material, and when you're in it, you're like a spring roll for a bear. Alright. This is the inside. Doesn't seem super big, and it's not super big. It's a one-person tent. Like I said, it's optimized for backpacking. Okay. Here we go. This end is the head end. That end is the foot end. The more narrow side is the side you put your feet. So, just lay down. I mean, it is decently wide and long. But yeah, so this is the tent I'm going to be sleeping in tonight. I'm going to go get some food because I'm hungry. All right, so this here is called a jet boil. It's a very handy tool that boils water very quickly. This piece goes onto the fuel canister, like so. Fuel canister screws into this piece. And then this piece goes on top after you remove the bottom portion, which I was too dumb to do. Then this piece goes on top. I don't love that angle though. I would like a flat rock. There we go. This one should be fine. I'll turn you a bit. That's good. You add your water. Which in this case for this freeze-dried meal is 10 fluid ounces. Different meals require different amounts. It's technically 11 fluid ounces, but if you follow their directions exactly, the food ends up a little bit watery. So then all you have to do is turn this dial here. There we go. And then that'll start heating up. And while that heats up, this here is going to be the meal. It is a creamy macaroni and cheese. So I will open this up, remove the oxygen absorber, because you should not eat these. Believe it or not, the thing that is covered in writing saying do not eat, you shouldn't eat. All right, and this one will take 15 minutes to cook. And it's also good until April 2054. So 30 years from now, these will go bad in 30 years. I was actually correct though. The brand is Mountain House. So what'll happen once the water's boiling, I will add it to this, stir, wait 8 minutes, open it, stir it again, wait another 7 minutes, and then it's good to eat. So yeah. I mean, it's mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is already a kind of freeze-dried meal, in all honesty. Oh, is my water boiling? Alright, I'd call that boiling. So now you turn that off, lift this, and then add your water straight to your package. I'm gonna set it down so I don't drop it. Ow, I just spilled boiling water on my hand. There's also this here is a color changing thing that lets you see how hot it is. Oh, right, I need to stir this first.
Time is going by so much faster than I'm starting to regret not telling all of this to you.
Then in 8 minutes, I'll reopen it and stir it again. I will see you once this is done, so in 15-ish minutes. All right, so it's been 15 minutes. The macaroni and cheese is done cooking now. I'm going to taste it, let you know what I think, and then I'm gonna read a book while I eat the rest. Probably the next time you'll see me after that is when I'm making the fire and doing a couple other things. So, taste test of this. It's a little bit watery. Maybe should have used a little bit less, but oh well. It's not bad. The macaroni's a little undercooked, and the sauce is a little grainy. I mean, all in all, it's not too bad, but it's definitely not my favorite freeze-dried meal I've had. I would say it's maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10, because it's not the worst thing I've ever had, but it's definitely not the best, and it's most definitely not the best macaroni I've ever had, that's for sure. But, you know, it's not too bad all in all, so I'm gonna go finish this, and I'll see you in a while. Introduce y'all to a cool another tool. I believe this was called a spin saw. That's what it is. I was gonna say Allen saw. This is a spin saw. So, this metal piece, the blade slides into here, and then you slide this into this. So it's all like one small compact thing. And then when you need it, you just take this out, attach it, screw this on, and then you can use it, for example, to saw this wood. So I have some firewood. I can just use the saw. Like so, and you just, it's a saw. It's a compact folding saw is what it is. Yeah, so neat little tool I wanted to introduce you to real quick because I needed it for this. And then after this, I probably won't need it again for the rest of the trip. But because there was no firewood small enough for the fire pit, I need to cut some of my own. So, spin saw. Okay, everybody. So, believe it or not, it is currently 6:18. Got a small fire going. Just finished making dinner. So, I'm going to try that one. Dinner is a... sorry, I'm trying to set up the camera here. This dinner is a fettuccine alfredo with chicken. So, try a few bites of it, see what I think. Then give it a final rating. Then after I'm done with it, I'm gonna make some marshmallows. Alright, this doesn't look too bad. That macaroni earlier was it just got worse and worse. So I'm pretty confident with that being a 4 out of 10. But let's try this fettuccine alfredo. Okay. It's not too bad. It has some decent flavor to it, surprisingly. I think for the fettuccine alfredo, I think I'll give it a good 7 out of 10-ish. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I whittled this stick so I can roast some marshmallows. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll catch you guys when I go to make the marshmallows. For a bit of added ambiance, I just turned off my headlight. But yeah, fettuccine alfredo was pretty good, so let's have a few marshmallows. One of my friends asked me to roast a marshmallow for her, so you know who you are, and this one is for you. That's so good. It's been forever since I've had a s'more or even just a toasted marshmallow.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane, two American kids growing up in the heartland. Jackie gonna be a football star. Diane's debutante backseat of Jackie's car. On chili dog, outside taste freeze. Diane sitting on Jackie's lap, got his hands between her knees. Jackie say, hey Diane, let's run off.
I'm gonna take care of this trash and sit by the fire for a bit, and I'll catch up with you guys when I'm about to go to bed. Alright guys, last check-in before I go to bed. It's currently, what time is it? One second, I'm checking. Let's see. It's currently 7 p.m. I'm not gonna go to bed quite yet. I'm gonna lay here and read my Kindle for a bit. But I'm gonna be heading to bed before too long, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is currently like 7:30 a.m. I hear a lot of, I think they're deer moving around in the leaves outside my tent, which is fun. I would tell you more, however, my phone died last night, and I'm trying to charge it, and it just won't charge above 1%. So my phone just won't really be working today, unfortunately, until I get home, I guess. I'm gonna try to start waking up and getting ready for the day, preparing my water and all. Gonna make some breakfast and then get on the trail. It's supposed to start raining at like 10 a.m. So I want to try to have everything done pretty quickly and hopefully get out of here by then, but just to be safe, I'll grab my the rain cover for my bag and my rain jacket I have in it. So I'll see you guys in a little while once I have breakfast. Alright, so it's not much later. It's incredibly cold right now, so I've decided I'm gonna skip breakfast because I don't want to mess around with water and risk getting my hands wet. And then they're freezing and I have no way to warm them up or dry them. So I'm gonna skip breakfast. I'm packing up the rest of my stuff right now. Then I'll break down the tent, get that packed up, and then I'm gonna get on the trail. I don't know how much I'm going to be recording because, again, like I said, it's incredibly cold. My hands are already turning red. So I don't want to keep them out of my pockets much, so I probably won't record terribly much, at least not early in the morning. We'll see how it's feeling a little later on down the trail, but at least for now, you probably won't see much of the early part of the trip. As I just try to keep myself warm. So I'll see you guys a little later down the trail, and take care of yourselves till then. Alright, I'm all done packing up, so it's time to head out. I'm glad I looked back before I left because I almost forgot my bear bag on the pole. Yeah, I love how beautiful this stream looks. Like, the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's so beautiful. Oh God, I keep saying that about this trip, but it's the only word I can use to describe it, because there's just nothing that truly can encapsulate how it feels. But yeah, so I'm on my way back to my car now. It is cold. It's probably below 40. I don't know exactly how cold it is. It's supposed to start raining within the next couple of hours, so I have my rain jacket on and the rain cover for my hiking bag ready to go. I would use the hiking poles, but my hands are absolutely freezing, so I have the hiking poles to their lowest settings so I can just keep my hands in my pockets so they don't freeze. Hopefully it warms up before too long, but with the rain coming, I don't know if that'll happen. At least not warm enough for me to really do much. I don't think I'll make it back to my car before the rain gets here, because most of my hike today is uphill. It's almost entirely uphill. So I made really good time yesterday, but I don't think I'll make the same time today. But I will update you as I go. So see you when I see you. So I'm not even to the top of the cutbacks yet. It keeps going. But look how far I've already climbed. It's to the point where you can no longer see the shelter or the creek or anything like that. Like, it is, I've had a very large change in altitude in a very short time. I was planning on getting to the top of the cutbacks before doing any more video, but I wanted to show how much of a change in altitude there's been, because I'm not even to the top of the cutbacks. Like, there's more to go, and I've already gone so far up. Once I get home, I'll do some kind of a summary on the changes in altitude I do over the trip, just so you can kind of see the difference in how things go. But for now, I think I might be almost to the top of the cutbacks. There might be just a few more, but it's been a lot so far, because it's a good distance and I'm going uphill the whole way, so it's tiring. Might end up taking a short break once I get to the top of them, just to drink some water and breathe for a second. Yeah, like, it's incredible the change in distance you can get when I'm not even all the way to the top yet. But all right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I will also point out, even though we can't see that stream anymore, if you listen, you can still hear it. I mean, that's just the power of water and the silence of nature. Is, even though it's not a particularly strong stream, it's still loud enough that through the silence of the woods, when you're alone in the woods, and that kind of almost perfect silence, you can still hear it a good distance away. Maybe I'm not as close to the top of the cutbacks as I thought I was, because I'm looking up through the trees and it looks like there's still a good few more cutbacks to go. But I guess I'll see you once I get there. So, bye for now. All right, I finally made it to my halfway point. It's about halfway. It's a couple miles off of being halfway, but whatever. I'm at my halfway point. That's the cutback's officially done, because really they started the sign from, like, and most of the elevation change on this hike is because of the cutbacks. So from this point on, it should be flat for the most part. So I'm not too worried at this point. I think I should be able to make it pretty easily from here. My only concern is the rain that's supposed to happen in, check the time, an hour, roughly an hour, the rain is supposed to start. So I need to go 1.4 miles in less than an hour so I can avoid the rain. I'm prepared in case I can't avoid it, but I think I should be able to do it because typical hiking pace is supposed to be about 1 mile an hour. However, yesterday I did 4.5 miles and probably closer to like 3 or so hours. I'm not sure exactly. I would have to check the time. But I think I should be able to make it before the rain actually starts. So here's hoping, because while I have the gear to hike in the rain, I do not want to hike in the rain. It is not enjoyable. And then because of all these leaves, the ground gets a lot more slippery and it gets more dangerous pretty much. Because if the ground is slippery while you're on a mountain, you know, that can only go so many ways. So I think I should be able to get out of here either before the rain starts or just after. So I'm hopeful. I'm coming up on another trail sign here now. Not sure what this sign is. I don't remember it. But almost there. Over halfway, which, you know what? That's good enough for me. I did about 1.1 miles in about an hour, and that was when I was going uphill the entire way. So I don't think it should be too bad. Next trail sign is just a continuation of that last one, just 0.1 miles further down the trail. So I think I'll be okay. But I'll see you guys a little bit later. All right, y'all, bad news. The rain started early. I have the rain cover on my bag, which should keep it from getting wet for the most part, but I am now in more of a rush. Ooh, is that ice crystals? That's kind of cool. Oh no, thought it was ice crystals. I think it's just some crystallization of another rock coming through that one. Anyway, sorry, got off topic. The rain started early, so I'm now in more of a rush to get out of here. I have my rain gear on. Fortunately, I put the rain jacket on before I left, and I had the rain cover in my pocket, so I wouldn't have to dig around in the bag to get it. But I am now in more of a rush to get out of here, because I do not want to get caught in the rain, especially not when I'm driving, because driving on wet roads in the mountains is very dangerous. So I'm going as fast as I can so I can try to get out of here. The rain isn't too bad yet. It's just a bit of a drizzle right now, but I don't know how bad it's supposed to get. So I'm going as fast as I can just for safety reasons. I'll update you when I get closer to my car. I don't know how much further it'll be now. I know I'm well over halfway at this point, but I don't know exactly how long it'll be. I can feel the air temperature has already dropped since the rain started, so here's hoping I can get to my car before it starts pouring or freezing. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, I'm sorry. I know this is quite a jump, but the rain was just getting worse and it just kept coming. And the temperature was just plummeting right along with it. So I went non-stop to my car. I just focused on hiking. I didn't have time to take my GoPro out to try to fill you in some. But I'm I'm back in my car now. It is currently 9:51. So if the rain had just waited till it was actually supposed to rain, I would have been fine. But anyway, I'm back in my car now, and I'm gonna get on the way home. I'll fill you in a little bit more when I get home. I'll eat the last 2 freeze-dried meals, review those for you, and then I think I'm done. So you might see some videos, you might see some clips of driving, or you might just catch me at home. I'm not sure yet, but I'll see you when I see you.
Dribble off those Bobby Brooks, let me do what I please.